Licensing reimagined.
Long time coming, black on the bottom of my feet from running. Cataracts under my eyes from hustling. Going from buying to selling to customers. Run up the business, God is my witness. Sun up the sun up from under the sun that we matching the limits. My mind running like Tom Cruise on an action movie. Moving a mission, they say that I'm tripping. I've been told I need a vacation, I'm finessing a visit.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers, and welcome to Best Bet for UFC Vegas 103. We have Manel Kape going against Almabayev, and as you can see, it is unfortunately going to be a solo show today. A lot of guys not able to this week, so going to have a full panel next week for UFC 313. But yeah, there's a lot of interesting things to talk about. We have only a 10-fight card, but I'm liking this card. I think there's a lot of spots sticking out and can't wait to kind of dig into it here. So since there's only 10 fights, there will be no passes on the show, so that's going to be exciting. And yeah, it should be a good card. I'm looking forward to this one. Before we get into the show, if you guys could do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Tomorrow, for Stat Diggers for UFC 313, we're going to be going live at 10:15 Eastern Time. Weezy is going to be getting back from Florida, and I will be going to a Cavaliers game, taking the wife out for her birthday. So yeah, late night show for Stat Diggers tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. And yeah, fights are kicking off in about an hour and 12 minutes. So let's get it today. We got Pablo, first one in the building, saying, "Good day, gentlemen. I'm hearing a lot of talk about Haqparast and Almeida pulling off the upset. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts." Yeah, I think both those fights are going to be phenomenal. Two of the best fights on the card right there. We got Elijah one in the building. Let's make some fucking money today. Let's get it. Time to pipe the bookies. I hope so. We got Tristan in the building. Let's go. Asu easy money will neutralize Kape just like every other good grappler does. I don't know about that, but we'll see. We got Will Pancake in the building. We got Tom. We got Rex saying you're late, and he commented this at 3:13. 3:13. The stream was set for 3:15, so if anything, I was not late. We got Waldo in the building. What is up? Late as usual. What is up? Yo, what's up, Brady? Let's get this money. Let's get it. Got MMA Tard. I always watch a show before I place my bets. Yeah, one of my favorite shows of the week, 100%. I like seeing, kind of where these lines have moved throughout the week. And we've had a lot of line movement today as well. A lot of line movement today that we'll talk about. Brady, if you show up late again, I'm going to pipe you on site. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. We got King named Tut. Brady, what's up, dog? What is up with you? Hopefully you're looking forward to some fights coming up here shortly. Let's get that cheddar. Let's get it. I could have came on. Yeah, if you want to, Eric. I mean, come on, man. Get on here. If I don't hit a 10-leg parlay tonight, I'm ghosting my bookie. 10-leg parlay is crazy. If Ribovics loses, I'll be heartbroken. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Ribovics. Hopefully he gets it done. We got Jiffy, what's good? We got Guts in the building. What is up? People are going to learn today that Brundage is the new generation Vitor. Oh my gosh. Like that Brundage Marquez fight. I can't wait for it. I can't wait for it. We got J Raw. What is up? Jay Weeds. What is up? Paul saying Andrea Lee and JJ about the swing pipes. Brady, I don't know about that. Let's get it. All right, guys. I say we get into it here. We got a lot to talk about. Mr. D, I see you as well. And we're going to kick it off with the first fight on the card, which is now, since we did lose a couple fights, going to be Charles Johnson going against Ramazan Temurov. And yeah, for this fight, I'm just going to take the Charles Johnson money line, which looks to be best price minus 125 here. And I am aware that I think, Charles Johnson as a live entry is probably the better route to take. But of course, we can't do live bets on the show. But I do like Charles Johnson here, and I like him quite a bit. Temurov, he's a fun and exciting prospect that people are excited about. But, Charles Johnson is going to be much bigger, much longer, much more experienced, fought the much better competition, the better cardio. I think he's going to have a rare grappling advantage here as well. Whereas Temurov has really just one thing, and it's that power. He puts 120% into all of his shots. Charles Johnson, very durable, never been knocked out. So I think for Temurov to win this fight, he's either going to have to, A, be the first one to ever knock out Charles Johnson, or B, have enough big moments across the duration of the fight to win a decision. So, but yeah, I'm on the Johnson side. I think early on it could be sketchy. Maybe Temurov does land some big shots, but I think eventually Johnson starts to get going, takes over, wins round 2, wins round 3 as well, and gets the job done. Probably by decision, but just don't want to completely rule out a late finish. So I'll go Charles Johnson on the money line at minus 125. I did bet this as well. Got it at plus 114. So did beat some line movement, which honestly never feels good, but we'll see how it all shakes out. I got in on Charles plus 110. Yep, I know a lot of people that got in on that plus money, which CLV and MMA literally means just nothing. But hopefully it works out in our favor this time around. Yep, JJ Aldrich is one of the most pale fighters in UFC history. Almabayev is going to shock the world. I hope not. I like that. I like that a lot, especially at this point. Johnson in the money line in the round to start, plus 110. I think that's a great way to play him now. Go to the Montana fight was canceled. My favorite play today was Montana. I didn't have a ton of confidence in that fight. Quite frankly, I wasn't really looking forward to it. So I'm glad that if we did lose a fight, which you never want to lose a fight, but I'm glad that since we did lose a fight, it was that one. But yeah, I know a lot of people that were on that Montana side. And yeah, that's a worry, man. I mean, he does have a hat, a cool hat. Cool hats are plus EV. Cool hats typically don't lose. Johnson round 3 sprinkle plus 3,000, round 3 KO, and money line at plus 110. I hope that Johnson doesn't win in round 3, because if he does, I'll have to actually get a skullet, and I don't want to do that. So I'm hoping Johnson wins, but doesn't win in round 3. Have a lot riding on this fight. Seems like you're disrespecting Brundage's elite fist fighting ability a tad. I don't know, man. That fight is it's a fight. It is certainly a fight. Certainly a fight. Energy round 3. I hope not. I hope not. Good luck to you as well. All right. So yeah, taking the Charles Johnson money line. I think it's also a good live betting spot as well, though. All right, moving on to the next fight. It is JJ Aldrich going against Andrea Lee, and we talked about how there's been a ton of line movement today, and this is one of them, man. JJ Aldrich was as low as minus 220, and currently she sits at minus 165. Andrea Lee was as high as plus 185, and currently she sits as a plus 145 underdog. So money today has been pouring in on Andrea Lee here. So I'm passing on this fight in terms of actual betting perspective, but for the show I can't, because there's only 10 fights. If there was 11 fights, this would be the one I'd be passing on. So I have to, put a bet in for the show here. And there are really just 2 spots sticking out. I think there are 2 spots that are even remotely playable. And the first one is the fight ends by split decision, which is the worst split decision line I've ever seen in my entire life. It's plus 225, which I don't think I've ever seen a lower split decision line ever. But at the same time, I kind of feel like that hits. And then also Andrea Lee by split decision is plus 700. So I'm kind of debating whether I want to just take the split at plus 225, which is a disgusting number, or do I want to take the Andrea Lee by split decision at plus 700, hoping she can kind of steal a split with the crooked, corrupt judges giving it to her. Yeah, I'll just take fight and split. I mean, this fight, I really don't like at all. I think it's going to be close. I think it's gonna be a split. So yeah, just give me fight ends by split. Plus 225. I don't care who wins. Just give me a split, which I think a split is super live, with how close and competitive I expect this fight to be, with the crooked, corrupt judges, the blind judges. They'll probably mess up at least one judge will mess it up. And so, yeah, I think split decision is really the only thing I'd remotely play here. JJ Aldrich or pass type of play. Yeah, I would definitely lean pass. Although money's still coming in on Lee, and that Aldrich line is getting better, I'm still not tempted on JJ Aldrich at minus 165. I'm really not. I'm picking her to win just because I can't pick Andrea Lee to win a fight in 2025. But at the same time, I'm not running to the window to bet on JJ Aldrich. Just can't do it. No play for me, but low-key want to bet the dog. That's what I actually do for WMMA. And yeah, honestly, there probably is value on Lee, but at the same time, she's just on a 5-fight skid. I think she's 2-8 in her last 10. She's looked rough her last 2. So yeah, it is probably a dog or pass, but I couldn't put money on Andrea Lee at this stage personally. Yeah, Marquez super questionable and suspect gas tank fuel. The guy drinks too much alcohol. I've heard that from a couple people. People are calling Marquez a drunk. I don't know. Hopefully Brundage doesn't lose to a drunk guy tonight. That'd be a bad look. Let's see here. Aldrich, Chepe, big gas parlay. Hey, I'm picking both of them to win. You can do whatever you put your mind to. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. 100%. All right, so yeah, not a ton of interest in this Lee Aldrich fight, but just give me the split plus 225, and that's that. Moving on to the next fight, which I'm really looking forward to this fight. It is Danny Silva going against Lucas Almeida. I think this fight is going to be an absolute banger. So we got Danny Silva. Money's came in on him. He's currently sitting as a minus 260 favorite. Lucas Almeida is sitting at plus 220. And it's certainly a wide line here, I think. I do favor Danny Silva. He's the younger guy. I think he's more durable. I think he has more ways to win. I like the volume. I like the wrestling, the grappling. I think he has more ways to win this fight. But Danny Silva is also very hittable. He's down to swing dicks, as is Lucas Almeida. And Lucas Almeida does have a lot of power. So I don't know if I'd be laying minus 260 on Danny Silva here. But what I do like is I like the under 2.5 rounds. Looks like minus 115, best price out there. I'll just go with the under. I think there's going to be a lot of finishing opportunities on both sides. I think Danny Silva, with how hittable he is, a Lucas Almeida knockout wouldn't surprise me. And on the flip side, I feel like Danny Silva could potentially win by knockout or submission as well. So yeah, I think it's going to be a car crash. I think it's going to be a hectic pace from the jump. And, within this, we're in the small cage as well. I think this has violence written all over it. So just give me the under 2.5 rounds at minus 115 is what I'm liking here for my best bet. So Almeida, Silva, under 2.5 at minus 115. All right. What are you guys liking for this one in the chat? I think this has potential to be fight of the night, to be honest. There's not a lot of options for fight of the night. We only have 10 fights, but I think this is in the running, absolutely, for fight of the night. I think it's going to be a very fun fight here. I'd be drinking every night too if you fumbled Miley Cyrus. Yeah, I mean, ever since that Miley Cyrus call out or whatever, Julian Marquez is on a big skid. I think he's like 0-3. Since calling out Miley Cyrus or asking her out for a date. And yep, Almeida did miss weight. Will it play out to his advantage? We'll have to see. Sometimes these fighters they miss weight, they cheat, and it gives them an unfair advantage. And maybe that's the case here. But yeah, he did miss weight. No way this fight goes the distance. I hope not. But if it does, it's gonna be one of those fights where it's like, how did this fight go 15 minutes? It doesn't make sense. Multiple knockdowns, multiple submission attempts, somehow goes 15. If it does go 15, it's just going to look like an absolute war, I think. Silva round 2 sprinkle plus 600 and by finish plus 135. Yeah, I don't mind those Silva 2-3. That's typically when he does win fights is 2-3. I got Silva, but I feel like Lucas is a dog and will go for the finish in the later rounds. Lucas is a dog, man. He's down to go out there and swing dicks. So I think some dicks will certainly be swung in this one. On everyone's soul, we all betting Haqparast. I will not be joining you on a Haqparast bet, but I wish you luck. I wish you luck. Almeida could low-key pull off the upset. He could, man. I mean, Danny Silva, he blocks punches with his face, so we'll see. But I'm going Danny Silva here. I like Danny Silva quite a bit as a fighter. Can't believe I caught you live. I'm glad you did. What is up, Joe? All right, so 3 fights in. We'll move on to the next fight. It is Kape Mariscal going against Ricardo Ramos. I think this is probably the most line movement on the card, or either that or the Patterson fight. But yeah, Ricardo Ramos was as high as plus 375. He's moved more than $1. He's currently a minus 260 underdog. As far as Jose Mariscal, opened up minus 180. He went as low as like minus 500, and he's back to minus 320. So a lot of monies came in on Ricardo Ramos the past 24 to 48 hours. And yeah, it makes sense. Like if you're looking at this fight, like skill for skill, I think these two are very close, competitive, but I just really question the heart, especially of Ramos. I question the durability, especially in a dog fight. And this is a Kape Mariscal fight, so this will be a dog fight. And I got to go with the dog here in the dog fight. And that's Chepe. Am I laying minus 500 on him? No. Am I laying minus 400 on him? No. But he's minus 300 now, which is still, it's a wide line. But at the end of the day, I think that he does go out there and gives Ramos his sixth finish loss. So I'm just taking the Chepe Mariscal inside the distance. It's minus 125. I don't want to mess around with the 2-3 props for a couple reasons. The reason I don't want to mess around with the 2-3 props on Chepe here, and I do think it's 2-3, but for one, they're terrible prices. Two, you take a look at Ricardo Ramos. He has 5 finish losses. All 5 of them come in the very first round. So Chepe could finish Ricardo Ramos in the first round. So I'm just taking the inside the distance, minus 125. It could be knockout, could be sub. But I think he does finish Ricardo Ramos. I really question the heart, the durability of Ramos here. We got Uncle Weezy saying, "Oi!" Yes. What is up, Uncle Weezy? Hopefully you are enjoying the sun in Florida, that Florida sun. Right now it's snowing outside my house, so not cool. But hopefully you're enjoying your little vacation there. Do you lean Marquez or Brundage on DraftKings? I have like very similar amounts of both. If I had to pick one, I guess it'd be Marquez, just because I think he's going to be a lot lower owned, but who knows what's going to happen in that fight. I mean, that fight's just a complete mess. Just got off work. What's your take on Energy by decision? My take is that's what I'm picking, and I have a bet on Charles Johnson, so I'm hoping he can come through. Ramos plus 3. Dang, I didn't even see it was plus 380. So you get to hold up your CLV trophy. You get to hold it up high. Hold it up proud, because you just got yourself some CLV. Congratulations, Elijah One. You did it. That's a lot of closing line value there. Heck yeah. Chepe by finish. Chepe by sub. Chepe round 2 submission plus 1,700. I'll sprinkle that round prop and got him by finish in a parlay. Yeah, I think he should get it done here. 2-3. I'm leaning 2-3 as well, but like I said, the prices aren't great. Chepe KO. That's what I'm picking, but it could be a sub. Chepe round 2. Out of all the fights, who's most likely to get a submission? I don't know. I don't see a ton of subs this card. If Patterson is winning, it's by submission. I guess I think according to the odds, Marquez is most live to get a submission. I think his submission prop's trash. It's like plus 200. But yeah, Marquez is live for a sub. Patterson's live for a sub. I think Danny Silva's live for a sub. Outside of that, I guess Chepe could maybe sub Ramos, but I think we're gonna get a lot of knockouts today. I'm leaning knockouts today here. Yeah, snow. Like come on, unbelievable. Hate snow. Hate the cold. I don't know what I'm doing in Ohio. I need to get out. I need to get out quick. Ramos is bad and quits easily. I don't think he's even bad. I don't think Ramos is a bad fighter at all, to be honest. I think he has really good skills, but he does quit. I agree with that. Do you watch any boxing? I do. If boxing's on, I'm watching it. If boxing's on and the UFC's not, or if the UFC card is over and boxing's on, I'll watch it for sure. I enjoy it. But lane by decision. Pinto gas tank fades after round 1. It doesn't, man. Pinto's been 5 rounds. All right, let's keep moving on to the next fight. Yeah, speaking of Mario Pinto, Austin Lane, we have the biggest favorite on the card, and the biggest favorite on the card is a heavyweight fighter making their debut. What could go wrong? But he's taking on Austin Lane here. And yeah, Austin Lane has had some success lately, but you look at who he's had some success against. Rebellis de Spain, who, by the way, got a very, a 3-second knockout last night, I saw on Twitter. But Rebellis de Spain can't stuff a takedown, has no ground game. That's why he's in Karate Combat, right? So yeah, he was able to take down Rebellis and control him. That's great, but it's not really that impressive. Took down Jonathan Deniz, who has a horrible ground game. He showed that off against Marcin Tybura when Tybura pounded his head through the canvas and finished him there. So with Pinto, one thing I looked for was, can this guy stuff a takedown? Can this guy scramble a bit? And the answer is yes. Yes, he can. Pinto's actually pretty well-rounded. And if he can stuff a takedown, I think Austin Lane's in a lot of trouble, because Austin Lane Like I said, the only time he's had any success at all is when he's wrestling. I'm not sure that's on the table. So it's a very wide line. Pinto's a very big favorite, and like I said, a lot could go wrong, but I think Pinto touches the chin of Lane here. And Pinto's not even a guy that has a ton of power, but I don't think you're going to need it here. I think it could be attritional. Austin Lane is hittable, has that tall man's defense, has questionable cardio. I think Pinto finishes him by knockout. But I don't know what round. When Austin Lane's typically getting knocked out, it's within the first round and a half. All 5 of his knockout losses have come within the first 7.5 minutes. But I could also see like a Pinto 2-3 type situation as well. So I'm just going to go Pinto by knockout. It's minus 140. I just think that's the most likely scenario. I typically don't like laying, chalk on KO props and submission props, and you typically don't want to do that. But I just think that's a very, very live outcome here. I think it's Pinto by knockout. What do you guys like in this fight here? Pinto is young, hungry, a beast. He will KO Lane in round 2. I think Pinto's good. I've seen some people crap on him this week. It's not too often we see a well-rounded heavyweight with solid hands and solid cardio and some wrestling. Like, we don't see a lot of that at heavyweight. I think he's good. I was impressed with Pinto. If Pinto fades, wouldn't it be more likely that Lane finishes him? I don't think Pinto's going to fade. I don't think he's going to fade, man. He's been to decision. He's been 5 rounds. I don't think he'll fade. I don't know. I don't know. Do you like it? I don't know. I don't look into boxing that much. I'm here for the steroid taking, head shaving, sauna weight cutting, piped up predictions. I hope I'm not shaving my head. And yeah, if Charles Johnson gets a 3rd round finish, I will have to shave my head into a skullet, which it's not going to be good. I mean, I haven't even told my wife, like, it's going to be bad. So I hope that Charles Johnson wins the fight, and I'll buy his shirt. I'll support him, but I'm hoping he doesn't win in round 3. I really hope he doesn't win in round 3 because I really don't want to skullet. I really don't want that. Some pinto beans. Yeah, a lot of people are in it. It scares me, man. I can't have Charles Johnson winning in the 3rd round. I couldn't imagine myself with a skullet. It would be terrible. But all right, so let's see. We are, how many fights in are we? 5 fights in. So I think these are the prelims, guys. Kind of flew by, but yeah, not a ton of fights to talk about. So yeah, quick recap. Charles Johnson, money line, minus 125. JJ Aldrich, Andrea Lee, fight ends by split decision, plus 225. Almeida Silva, under 2.5, minus 115. Kape Mariscal, inside the distance, minus 125. And then Mario Pinto, by KO, minus 140. So laying some juice on these, but there are some plus money numbers I do like on the main card there. Imagine Temurov KOs him in round 1. I think that's his path. So, I mean, I could actually imagine that. He's going to try to knock off that Charles Johnson skullet. Put a full unit on Johnson round 3. Only way to soften the blow if he gets a 3rd round win. I don't know. I don't know if it'll soften the blow. I mean, it would be a huge hit. A full unit, that'd probably be like $1,800. But I don't know if $1,800 would make up for a haircut that bad. But we'll see. Get the clippers out? I hope not. I mean, I'm going to go to my barber and show her a picture, and she's going to probably kick me out. I mean, it's bad, man. Let's see. Thoughts on Johnson by decision, Pinto KO sub, Almeida Silva under 2.5, Chepe inside the distance. I'm picking all 4 of those. I don't mind them. I don't mind all 4 of those. I'll admit it. I'm on Lane, just not for a lot. Yeah. I don't. It's hard for me to imagine Lane winning this fight, but hey, it's heavyweight, and we've seen crazier stuff, so we'll see. All right, let's move on now to the main card. Before we do so, if you guys could, let's smash the like button. You know what? Let's not smash it. Let's pipe it up. Let's pipe it up. Pipe up that like button. Let's get those likes up. We're about to talk this main card. and it's Danny Barlow versus Sam Patterson. So more line movement here. Danny Barlow was as low as minus 380, and currently he's a minus 212 favorite. Sam Patterson was as high as plus 315. Wow. And he's currently plus 182. So this looks like this is the most line movement on the entire card. I thought it might have been in the Kape Ramos fight, but it looks like this is the most line movement in these past like 24 to 48 hours. Money pouring in on the very chinny Sam Patterson. So for me, from a best bet perspective, I like violence here. I'm just going to take the under 1.5 rounds in this fight. I just, if Sam Patterson gets Barlow down to the ground, I think there's a good chance he could sub him. We've seen Barlow put into very bad spots on the mat. Sam Patterson, very good grappler. If he can get on top of Barlow, I think it could be a wrap, and I think that's why money's coming in on Patterson. But if he's not able to take down Barlow, I think it's just a matter of time before, Danny Barlow finds the very hittable chinny face of Sam Patterson. Patterson, I don't know, he holds his head high up in the air, tall man's defense, hands are low, just begging to be knocked out. So I just struggle to see, Sam Patterson's chin lasting 7.5 minutes here. And then I also see Barlow lasting 7.5 minutes if this fight were to hit the ground. So I like the under. I think both guys have a path, whether that's a Patterson submission, whether that's a Barlow knockout, but I think that the under is the best way to go. And it looks like the under is actually plus money, which is very interesting. Under 1.5 rounds plus 100. I don't think that's a bad line at all. So give me the Barlow Patterson under 1.5 at plus 100. There we go. There we have it. I think we get some violence here in this fight. And I think it could be brutal. I think it could be a brutal finish as well. All right, what are you guys liking in this one? Like I said, money pouring in on Sam Patterson. Before saying, Brady, can you please let Ethan Hansen know my Blazers tickets are on the way? Thank you. Ethan Hansen, Forrest's Blazer tickets, they're on the way. Shout out to Forrest. No problem. Nazareth is going to be on the optimal if he can win. That haircut's going to be great birth control. You got that right. Barlow's so overrated. Maybe. I think Barlow's good, but maybe his ground game gets tested here. I had to bet Patterson. I wish I got him earlier. It looks like a lot of people are, man. I mean, this line is just completely crashing down. Didn't Barlow hurt his hand last 2 fights in a row? I think so. I think he broke his hand on Josh Quinlan's face. And then I also think he broke his arm in the Veretinikov fight. So yeah, I think he has had some type of hand or arm injury his last 2 fights. Patterson via sub is the move. Pipe it up. Hey, could pipe it up, man. Yeah, Patterson sub 1-2. I think that's how you play them, and they're really big numbers. Patterson over 0.5 takedowns, minus 160 seems smart with the way the line's moving. Yeah, could be, or it could end poorly as well. But yeah, only 1 takedown. It's not a terrible look. What if a Barlow decision? I hope not. I hope somebody gets served here. How does Patterson get it to the ground? Is it just going to be body lock throw? Barlow like it's nothing. I don't see it. Yeah, and the thing about Patterson that I didn't like was he doesn't really go out there and try to proactively grapple as much as I'd like to see. A lot of times it's kind of like opportunistic, dragging his opponents down, or they get hurt, he gets on top, but doesn't really go out there and try to wrestle much. So yeah, I think it'd have to be like a throw him down, get on top, or maybe take his back standing or take his neck standing, something like that, which is it's possible. I don't think Patterson's near as shinny at 170. I got the over 1.5, and you could be right or you could be wrong. We just don't know. I mean, he fought Kiefer Crosby and what's his face, Johan Lioness, and both those fights lasted about 3 minutes. All right, but yeah, I'm taking the under. I think somebody gets served brutally. All right, moving on to the next fight. It is William Gomy going against Hyder Amil. We got William Gomy minus 220, Hyder Amil plus 185. I'm kind of surprised this line hasn't came down. I'm kind of surprised by all the Gomy dick sucking this week. A lot of people sucking this guy's dick, which I think he's a great skilled fighter. but just his style is it's so hard to watch. He just doesn't do anything in there. I call him William Split or Majority Decision Gomy. I think he should change his nickname from Jaguar to Split or Majority Decision, because that's all his wins have been split or majority decisions thus far. Split or majority decision against Jarno Aarons. Split or majority decision against Joanderson Brito in a fight he lost. There's another split he had as well. So yeah, I think, Gomy, this is a guy that just doesn't do much, but to his credit, he's very good at hypnotizing his opponents. So there's actually a spot that kind of sticks out here. The more I think about this fight, the more I really think about this fight, the more I think that, I think it's finished here in this fight. And here's why. Haider Amil is an absolute madman. Haider Amil throws defense out the window. He throws everything out the window. He just goes completely berserk. It's like he's on like cocaine in there. So I think with that, Haider Amil is going to go completely berserk, and he's either going to overwhelm Gomy and get him out of there, or he's probably going to get caught with something. So I think the under 2.5 plus 200 best price out there. I think the under 2.5 is very sneaky this week, because I know, William split or majority decision, Gomy, the dude only wins by split, but I think Haider's going to bring a style that's going to kind of force him to fight. Another thing to mention, we are in the small cage, so William Gomy won't be able to run around as much for 15 minutes. He's going to be forced to let his hands go. So I'm just going to take that under 2.5 plus 200. I think with the style of Haider Amil, I think somebody could end up getting served in this one. But yeah, I'm hoping Amil wins this fight, but Gomy's a good fighter, man. He's a good fighter. Amil plus 187. Yeah, it's wild. Like if William Gomy does pay off this price tag and look minus 220, I think he's going to have to finish, because William Gomy's not looking minus 220 in a decision where where nothing's happening. So yeah, I don't know. It's a lot. I couldn't lay minus 220 on somebody like William Gomy who does nothing, but I don't know. Kind of want to see Gomy get knocked out. My numbers have Amil plus 113, got him at plus 180. There you go. Watch Gomy get a finish when everybody's betting decision. That's what I'm saying. I think a Gomy finish could be in play. I think it could be in play, as crazy as that sounds. Gomy is so annoying to watch. You're telling me. I fell asleep watching this guy's fights the other night. Just literally fell asleep. I woke up and like, where am I? Oh, William Gomy just won a majority decision against Jarno Aarons. That's where I'm at. I thought Gomy lost his lost fight against Brito. I think Amil gets the job done. I thought he lost too, but we were in Paris, right? But yep, we'll see. Should be a good fight. But I am surprised how many people are laying the chalk on Gomy, but we'll see. A lot of people like this guy. Moving on to the next fight, which is going to be an absolute banger. We got Esteban Ribovics going against Nasrat Haqparast. We got Ribovics minus 240, Haqparast plus 205. And what do I have here for this one? So, yeah, I think it's going to be a fun fight. I think that, with Ribovics, this is a guy that I don't think has the best takedown defense. Like, that would be my one worry anytime Ribovics fights, is literally gets taken down by a gust of wind. But against Haqparast is not going to wrestle him. So I think both these guys are going to get the fight that they want. And that the fight that they want is a dick swinging contest. I think these two are going to pull out their dicks. I think they're going to go to the center of the cage, and I think they're going to measure their dicks. And I think this fight's going to come all down to who has the bigger dick in there. And I think that the person with the bigger dick is Esteban Ribovics. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a banger. I think these guys are going to hit each other in the face a lot. I think these guys are going to swing in there, try to take each other's heads off. But I don't know if Haqparast is going to be able to eat, upwards of 100 to 150 significant strikes in this fight. I don't know if Haqparast deals the best with pressure. We saw Jared Gordon start to pressure Haqparast last fight, and Haqparast looked very uncomfortable, looked like he was about to be on his way out against Jared Gordon. Esteban Ribovics is going to do that from the jump. So, yeah, I like Ribovics here, and I think he could potentially be the second person to knock out Nasrat Haqparast, who is, yes, very durable, but when you're eating like 150 big strikes to the head. Like you can get knocked out by this guy. So I'm taking Esteban Ribovics to win by knockout in round 2 or round 3. And it is plus 600. So Esteban Ribovics by knockout in rounds 2 or 3 is plus 600. I'm taking that. I think a late Ribovics finish, like an overwhelming Haqparast in the later rounds, is very much in play. So yeah, Ribovics KO rounds 2-3 plus 600. And then for the last fight, I took the Amil Gomez under 2.5 at plus 200. All right, so yeah, I like Ribovics here to get it done. All right, what do you guys liking in this fight? This fight has fight of the night written all over it, just written all over it. Gomy, a counter striker, round 3 KO is live. Yeah, it could be. It could be. I think somebody could get finished in that Amil fight. I think it's very sneaky. Don't think it's crazy at all. He got rocked once in the Fernie fight and put into a choke with a body trunk. Yeah, he gets put into a lot of bad spots, as does Gomy, though. Gomy's almost been subbed in 3 different UFC fights against Jarno Aarons, Brito, and Francis Marshall. But, yeah. Gomy by decision. Unfortunately, he will be able to handle Amil. I hope it's not a Gomy decision, because if it is, it's just going to be the worst fight you've ever seen. But I'm hoping it's fun. Yeah, some dick swinging. You don't mind it. Esteban KO. Esteban Ribovics. There you go. Ribovics is my main play this week. Trevor on the KO 2-3. I think it's live. Esteban via nasty body shots and ground and pound. I can dig it. This should be the co-main event. You're telling me. You're telling me. This as far as I'm concerned, this is the co-main event. But it's crazy. I was actually shocked that they didn't switch it up and change it, but here we are. How's this? I don't know. It makes no sense. It literally makes no sense. I have a feeling Nasrat might wrestle. He may. I think it'd be smart. I think it'd be really smart to wrestle, because Ribovics cannot stuff a takedown. So you may be right. We'll see. Nasrat could chin this guy. Yeah, Nasrat hits very hard. I don't think people talk about Haqparast's power enough. Haqparast has like 7 or 8 knockdowns in the UFC. This guy's knocking down everybody out there. So, and Ribovics is hittable. So he's tough, but hittable. But yeah, it wouldn't shock me if Ribovics like got knocked down here with how hard Haqparast hits and how much these guys are going to get hit in the head. Don't swing dick. Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea. Swinging dicks with Ribovics is not the best idea. And Daniel Zellhuber found that out last fight. All right, now it's time for what they say is the co-main event. But we have Cody Brundage going against Julian Marquez. And I knew this would happen. The line has officially flipped. It's officially flipped. We now see some plus money on the Julian Marquez side. Cody Brundage, slight favorite at this point. So if you're betting on this fight, go get some help. Go get some serious help. In all seriousness, if you're betting on this fight, go get some help. With that said, I am betting on this fight. There are a couple spots I do like. But yeah, I like violence here, but they're all over that. Like the fight doesn't go as minus 400. The under 1.5 is minus 150. I think all those hit. But there is a line that kind of sticks out to me, and it's the Julian Marquez finish props. They're weird for me. So Julian Marquez by submission is such a terrible price, and I'm actually picking submission, but they have the sub at like plus 200, plus 225 for a submission prop. Marquez by knockout, they have as high as plus 475. And I could see a couple different scenarios where Marquez can knock out Cody Brundage, who has been battling some concussion symptoms, has been known to, look for the door if things aren't going his way. I think a Marquez knockout is much more live than the plus 475 does indicate. So I'm actually going to go with Julian Marquez by knockout at plus 475. But yeah, I think somebody's getting served here. The question is who? Is Cody Brundage going to be able to knock out the very chinny Julian Marquez within the first couple minutes. I think Brundage KO1 is definitely on the table. I thought about that. Or is Julian Marquez going to make Cody Brundage battle some adversity and look for the door? I think those are the two most likely outcomes. But either way, I think somebody's absolutely getting served in this one. I don't mind the under 1.5, but that Julian Marquez by KO at plus 475, I think it's going to have some opportunities for sure here. And it could be like a club and sub as well, but I could see, Julian Marquez landing a big shot, and that's the fight. That's it. Brundage covers up and he pounds away, and Herzog stops the fight 50 strikes too late, but he stops it, and that KO bet comes through. But yeah, this fight's going to be hilarious. It's going to be fun. I like it. This is it shouldn't be the co-main event, but it's going to be fun. I think we're going to have fun. We're going to have fun with this one. Marquez pressure brawls, and Brundage hates anything resembling an adversity. Yep. Yeah. So excited for another Oscar award-winning performance. Yeah, man, I lost. I didn't lose money in the Al Hassan fight, but it pushed, right? I had the under 1.5 big in the Al Hassan fight. Should have cashed, didn't. But I also got a Brundage KO1 cash against Jacob Malkoun when he got the first round DQ at 20-1. So yeah, I like Brundage in terms of like he's exciting. He's exciting. Got Brundage plus 130. Hey, you get to cash your CLV. You get to hold your CLV trophy high and proud. So we'll see. It should be a pick'em though. I think there was some value on Brundage at plus 130, because how can you favor either one of these guys, right? Cody is dead to me if he loses or quits. Marquez's last knockout was when Connor won a fight. Yeah, he knocked out Phil Haas brutally. Yeah, I'm leaning Marquez here. He also knocked out Sam Alvey as well, but the ref didn't stop the fight, and then he had to choke out Sam Alvey. But he definitely knocked out Sam Alvey. Alvey was done. That fight could have been stopped. You had to be crazy to put money on Brundage. I think you got to be a little crazy to put money on either of these guys, to be honest. But maybe we're all a little crazy. Scarlet Gang praying for a round 3 Charles sub. I'm praying for the opposite. I can't afford Charles Johnson to win in round 3. If he does, I'm gonna have to get a terrible haircut. I got Brundage inside the distance at plus 125. God help me. Yeah, you need some help, man. We'll get you checked into a top-notch facility, and we'll get you straightened out, because that laying any money on Cody Brundage, it's not a good idea. I got Brundage plus 140. There you go. I'm entirely arbed out. There you go. Free money. Take it. Yeah, Kape did go way down in odds. Where is this Kape line now? Kape is minus 320 now. He was minus 500. Oh, he's minus 300 now. So money's still coming in on the quitter, Ricardo Ramos. Let's see how that plays out. And then there was another line that was the Barlow Patterson line moved a lot as well. So yeah, these lines are moving. Agreed. I just wish it wasn't like so juiced, but I think it's juiced for a reason. No. What would that even entail? What would that even? How would that even work? I would not do that. I would not do that. But yeah. We shall move on to the next fight. It is Manel Kape going against Asu Almabayev. We got Manel Kape minus 210. Asu Almabayev is plus 180. And yeah, for me personally, I think this is Manel Kape's fight to lose. I think it's a really good matchup for him. Manel Kape over the last couple of years has really improved that takedown defense, the get-up game, the scrambling ability, the BJJ. Now he's very hard to take down. He's very hard to hold down. He's a black belt now. And I just struggle to see Manel Kape getting taken down and held down here. I do think this fight's going to play out on the feet for a good chunk. And when it does, just Manel Kape should be the much, much, much better striker. It's just Manel Kape sometimes just doesn't really seem to let his hands go. Sometimes he can go out there and just be low volume. But if Manel Kape shows up and he's on, I don't see him really losing to anybody in the division, right? Especially Asu Almabayev here, who's taken a massive, massive step up in competition, and stylistically, I just don't like this matchup for him. Like, it's hard for me to imagine Asu taking down and holding down Manel Kape for 3 out of the 5 rounds or subbing. I just don't think that's all that likely. So I like Kape here a lot. So yeah, for me, I'm taking the Kape. Kape in the over 1.5 rounds is minus 125. I'm going to go with that. Minus 125. I think this fight does play out, does start a little slow. Maybe Asu does have some success early, getting some takedowns here and there. But I think ultimately Kape starts to take over and win those last couple rounds or even gets a finish. So I'm taking the Manel Kape and the over 1.5 rounds, minus 125. I think it's a good way to get that price tag down. What's up with all this line movement? Kape down 60 points the last 2 hours and Barlow down 120 points. Yeah, a lot of lines are moving quickly. Kape, he's not minus 210, is he? No. Wow. Jeez. Yeah, minus 275. I wonder if something's up with Kape. Oh boy. You don't like to see that. You don't like to see that. Now we're getting into the sketchy line movement territory. He went from minus 500 to now minus 250. What in the James Krause is going on here? Minus 500 to minus 275. That's concerning if you're on the Kape side. Maybe something's up. I don't get that. That's some crazy line movement. That's the Charles line moving. Charles line hasn't moved that much. Kape getting subbed is what it means. I hope not. Barlow minus 195 now. Jeez. Yeah, these lines are moving quite a bit. Yeah, minus 190 even. Crazy. Some guys have been screaming. Yeah, there are a lot of people on Patterson. Charles by decision. Charles Johnson. I'm leaning decision. But a lot of people think he could finish late. All right, so yeah, he is training with the Fighting Nerds, so we'll see if that helps him there. But all right, let's go to the bets here. So we'll go over these 10 bets. Charles Johnson money line minus 125. The Aldrich Lee fight ends by split decision plus 225. Almeida Silva under 2.5 minus 115. Kape inside the distance minus 125. Pinto KO minus 140. Barlow Patterson under 1.5 plus 100. Amil Gomy under 2.5 plus 200. Ribovics KO in rounds 2 or rounds 3 plus 600. And then Julian Marquez KO plus 475. And the Manel Kape and the over 1.5 minus 125. So best bet for this card, for me, it's 2 options. I think like a gimme could just be this Aldrich fight ends by split decision. I think that just could be like an easy, just a gimme best bet there. Turn that into 4.5 units. Or it's the Ribovics KO 2-3. Yeah, I'll just go that Aldrich to end split. I think it's a super close fight. I think it just has split written all over it. It's the worst split line in UFC history, but I think there's a good reason for that. So just give me the JJ Aldrich fight ends by split. I think that's very much on the table, and it's not bad. But yeah, I also like that Ribovics KO 2-3 quite a bit as well. It looks real. I hope so. I hope it looks nice, man. Let's see how it plays out. Every book in Vegas still has Kape minus 350. Yeah, I wonder what's going on with that Kape line. I wonder how much it's gonna move. That's some big line movement for sure. All right, but yep, that's about all I got, guys. Fights are kicking off in about 24 minutes. I'm gonna head out of here. If you guys could all do me a favor, like on your way out, subscribe on your way out. Again, tomorrow for Stat Diggers, me and Weezy will be going live at 10:15 Eastern time. So check us out then. And yeah, be sure to check us out because that UFC 313 card is going to be phenomenal. We got Alex Pereira, Magomed Ankalaev. We got Justin Gaethje, Rafael Fiziev. I started looking into that card yesterday and today, and I think we have a great card coming up next week. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah, guys, best of luck tonight. Enjoy the fights, and hopefully we can win some money. So, guys, we'll talk to you soon, and see you later.